Hey you guys, here I am as promised in my lovely formal Friday attire, here to teach you a little bit of long division. I'm just going to take a problem or a couple problems from this week's math assignments and break it down for you. We'll start with digit by digit first. So I'm just going to do number 2 on page 152 for you. So we have 1,533 divided by 21. So with our double digit divisor here, sometimes it's not easy to estimate how many times it goes into your dividend. So 21 is something I can round. I can round 21 down to the nearest 10, which would be 20. I'm going to write 20 below 21 to show that I rounded down. So now I look how many times 20 can go into 1,533. It cannot go into 1. It cannot go into 15, but it can go into 153. Okay, so about 20 can go in 7 times. So the way I figured that out was there's 2 options. One, you can skip count by 20s, which might take a little bit longer. So 20, 40, 60, until you reach just close enough to 153. Or what I like to do, and if this doesn't work for you, don't do it. I'm going to cover up that last ones digit of 153, which is the 3, and I'm going to cover up the ones digit on 20 and think about how many times 2 goes into 15. And I know my basic fast fact that 2 goes into 15 7 times without going over, but it's not just 2, it's 20, and it's not just 15, it's 153. So that 7, I'm going to put on top of the 3. So this is the tricky part, is now I need to get the exact answer. I'm going to ignore that 20, and I'm going to use my exact divisor, 21, to do the rest of the math. So I divided, now I multiply 21 times 7. I'm gonna put this down so I can solve it out. So 21 times 7, 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14. So I end up with 147. I can tell that this is the correct estimate because 147 is just under 153 and does not go over it. So then I continue like normal. I'm going to subtract 153 minus 147. Oh, you guys got a rare fin sighting. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Borrow 13 minus 7. And I ended up with 6. Okay, so then we continue the normal process. We bring down that 3 to join the fun. And now I have 63 as my new dividend divided by 21. So I want to figure out how many times my estimate 20 can go into 63. If I skip count by 20s, I can end up at 60, which would give me an answer of 3. Now I ignore the 20. Not using the 20, I want my exact answer. So I'm going to use 21 to multiply with 3 to get my answer here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 21 times 3. And 21 times 3 is really nice. It's perfectly 63. So I have no remainder. And my final answer is 73. Okay, so that was digit by digit. I'm going to attempt to do place value next. Place value is not where my brain immediately goes, so bear with me as I walk through these steps. It's a nice review for me too. So for place value sections method, it looks pretty similar, but we're not going through each individual digit and looking at how many times our divisor can go in. We kind of look at the number as a whole and use this to estimate for our 2 different boxes here. So I have 1,533 divided by 21. I rounded 21 down to 20 to estimate a little bit easier in my head. So if I'm looking at this problem here, I see 20 going into 1,533 about 70 times. Now, how I got that estimate was that I covered my zeros on 20 and 70 and thought, well, 2 times 7 is 14. And if I'm trying to get close to this number here and put the zeros back, that makes about 1,400. So that's a pretty close estimate. Okay, so now I'm going to take my exact number, 21, ignoring that 20, and multiply it with 70. Okay, so I'm going to solve this out below. 21 times 70. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Drop down and put a 0. 7 times 1 is 7. And 7 times 2 is 14. So when I got my exact answer, I got 1,470. That looks really close, so I'm going to go ahead and put this below 1,533. Okay, so now I'm going to subtract. So 3 minus 0 is 3, and I'm going to write it down below to show what I'm left over with. 3 cannot take away 7, so we borrow from 5. 5 becomes a 4. Carry that one over. 13 minus 7 gives us 6. And then 4 minus 4 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So here's what I'm left over with, 63. So this 63 needs to move to the next box. So there's my arrow to move it. Okay. Now I'm trying to see how many times 20 can go into 63. So by skip counting, or by looking at 63 and knowing that it's really close to 60, 20 can go into 63 about 3 times. Okay. Now ignoring that 20, we don't want to use the 20. Use the exact number 21 to multiply 63. I'm sorry, not 63. Multiply 3 times 21. So 21 times 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And look at that, we have a perfect match. So then we subtract 63 from 63, and we're left with 0. My final step in place value is to add my partial quotient, which is 70 plus 3, to get a final total of 73, which was the same exact answer we got when we did digit by digit. Like I've said multiple times to you 5th graders, if this doesn't work for you, if place value doesn't work, don't use it. If digit by digit works for you, great. If it doesn't, also find a method that works for you. Sorry, that was pretty redundant. I'm gonna hold this one up so you can kind of analyze it for a second. You can pause the video, okay? And then Khan Academy has a lot of great resources. If you type in division to Khan Academy, they have all the videos, and there's also practice problems you could work on. I hope that this helps. I've never taught a YouTube lesson before, so if you could let me know via email if you liked that or things I could do that would make it easier for you to better understand next time, please let me know.